Well, good morning, you big ham. What are you up to today? Huh? What are you up to today? Jaw, I have a cold. It's giving me body ache, so we're going to go out, take you out to do something. I'm going to do the vlog, and then I'm going to rest the rest of the day. Is that cool with you? Okay. Let's do it. Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now. So after we get Jaw some playtime in, I'm going to take you guys over to a very historic movie studio. This place has been around since 1920 with many different studios occupying the space. It's now known as The Lot, but it was once known as the Warner Hollywood Studios. Alright, there's another place we can't go this week. A lot of dogs here today. This place is packed. The smelling ritual. Are you wiped out? You're tired already? No way. No way. Okay, that's the end of the dog park for now. I think I need to pick up some cold medication too while I'm out. That's kind of interesting. Those boots are huge. It's kind of a crazy lawn decoration. Right there in front of us is KTLA. That was the original home of Warner Brothers Hollywood. And when they moved out of here, they moved over to where we're going to next. We're taking the old historic Route 66 to get here too. Well, here's the front walking entrance to what is now known, and since 2000 has been known as The Lot. Now the history of this place is absolutely amazing. It's a pretty big studio. It started out in 1920 as something called Hampton Studios. And if you remember when I did the vlog on that crazy kind of unsolved murder of William Desmond Taylor actually used to make films for Hampton Studios. Now it didn't last very long because the studio ended up being sold. Well, here's our first clue that we've uncovered, a little bit of Hollywood history. The historic building sign for Warner Hollywood Studios. And it sold to Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks, and it actually became Pickford Fairbanks Studios. That's right, this is the studio that was purchased by Douglas Fairbanks and Mary Pickford after their somewhat scandalous affair. They were both involved in other relationships, and Douglas Fairbanks was married, and they ended up getting together and forming this union and having what was considered one of the most famous partnerships of their time. In fact, having that house up, up in the hills called Pickfair. Pickford, Fairbanks, Pickfair. Now sadly the lot has changed a lot over time, and especially even very recently, it didn't always look like this when I used to come here. But when Douglas Fairbanks and Mary Pickford ran it, they actually filmed his Thief of Baghdad movies here. Douglas Fairbanks being the swashbuckling action-adventure hero of the day, and Mary Pickford being America's sweetheart. Now what's interesting is this is the studio that they owned and ran when they decided to go into a partnership with D.W. Griffith and Charlie Chaplin, forming the United Artists Company. This studio became United Artists. Now once they formed United Artists, Charlie Chaplin actually moved away from Chaplin Studios, which is now Jim Henson, and I've vlogged that before if you want to go check out where that studio was. he moved his operation over to here, filmed most of his things over here from then on until it was then sold to Samuel Goldwyn. So in the 1950s, this once again became another studio, and it became Samuel Goldwyn. And during that time, he would also rent out part of the facility to Howard Hughes and RKO. So during that time, you would have very memorable movies such as Some Like It Hot, West Side Story, Guys and Dolls. So you would see people like Marilyn Monroe, Tony Curtis, Frank Sinatra, Clark Gable walking around these studios during that time. Now, this studio also has a really great history because there were a lot of television shows, including Dynasty, and Love Boat was filmed here. Bruce Springsteen recorded his MTV Plugged concert here. They filmed some of Basic Instinct here. Even True Blood is now filmed here. Now, right here across from the lot, I feel like we should take a look at this because this is the Formosa Cafe. This was the after-hours hangout of all of those stars I just mentioned, Marlon Brando and Laurence Olivier, Marilyn Monroe, Clark Gable. They would all come here and have a drink after filming a long day, have a meal. Now, about a year ago, I made a vlog about this place because it had just been closed down and everybody was freaking out. They were going to demolish the building. However, I don't know that it's been officially announced, but I have a friend that knows the man who purchased this property. And that man is known for restoring and saving properties like this, so it's nice to know that, according to my friend, that's what's happening here, is that they are actually saving it. What he told me was that they started doing a renovation on it, and when they were pulling back some of the walls, they started finding, as he described, some sort of historical content or something that was, they believed had value or meaning, and so they immediately stopped what they were doing right there until they could get someone to come in and they could figure out the best way to save this and do it properly. So the Formosa will live on. This is a big hot spot for many, many years. We're talking decades. Now, this used to be an 11-acre lot, and I don't believe that it's all considered the lot anymore. I noticed that half of what used to be the lot is now OWN, OWN, Oprah Winfrey's network. So, yeah, but since 1980, this was officially known as Warner Hollywood Studios because it was the occupant in 1928, but then in 2000 it became the lot. And so many more things were filmed here that I haven't even mentioned. Things like The Majestic with Jim Carrey, Green Mile, Wuthering Heights, The Best Years of Our Lives. Yeah, it's got a really fantastic history. In fact, I used to, around 2003, 2004, had a delivery job for a famous deli, and they sent me here one day, actually on a few occasions, and every time I was here I would notice that in the parking lot here they had the kind of rust bucket car that Borat drives around, and somebody on the lot told me that the person that owned that car actually worked here and was driving that back and forth to and from work. And one of the real reasons I wanted to do this vlog today was because I noticed this recently. This has not always been here. There's now an art piece in one of the open spaces in front of, or I guess you'd say on the side part of the lot, that's now dedicated to the film history here. And there's a little bit more to it than meets the eye. I want you to see this. If you take a look at what he's done here, he's got these kind of old stage prop showing how the buildings would have been built and everything. And you've got the water tower up there and things like that, which are amazing. And it's a great art piece. And all the way down to the carton to stand on. That's one of those also hidden secrets you don't know, is that Tom Cruise uses those a lot. Those are they're called apple boxes on sets. If one of the actors is shorter than his co-star, they'll always prop them up on one of those so that it's not noticeable. But this is what I thought was so cool. You see these, basically these eye holes, these places to put your face, they almost look like a periscope. That's part of the exhibit. Check out what they've put inside of here. Hopefully my camera will pick it up. Isn't that something? They've kept it like an old production studio, an old production room. Now I don't know if that's part of the art piece or if that's What a great job, Michael McMillan. I love this art piece. And incidentally, a lot of the movies that were filmed here were considered not only great movies, but the best movies of their genre, like The Thief of Baghdad and Robin Hood with Douglas Fairbanks, as well as Some Like It Hot is considered one of the greatest comedies of all time. West Side Story and Guys and Dolls are both considered some of the greatest filmed musicals of all time. What a history. Since the founding of this studio, everything has changed. Whereas you would be signed to a studio and the entire studio would be one company that you would be working for and be under contract for, it's no longer that way here anymore. The lot now would be more of independent productions, renting out sound stages and offices to put on their project, and big studio system just is no longer in existence. But it's nice to see that something since 1928 still stands and is still being used today. Now we're gonna pop in Target and I'm gonna buy some decongestant and cough syrup and all that stuff to hopefully kick this cold or whatever's coming on. So I see online they're getting ready to end the Save by the Max experience that's been going on for, originally it was gonna be just a couple of months, and it feels like it's been almost a year now. I didn't realize it, but I saw online that they have added and changed a couple of things since I came here. Unfortunately, it's just too expensive for me to really come back, but I mean, it's like over $100 a person. But they added a, like kind of the beach resort scene and something else. I wanna say like Zach's room or something like that. They added two new settings that you can have your meal in. Don't get me wrong, it was an amazing experience, but it's just expensive. All right, we're here. We're going up there. All right, that's a start right there. All right, we're done. Time to go relax. Well, you're clearly happy to see me, but I'm wondering what you did while I was gone. I stopped and got us some groceries. Well, my friends, I'm gonna call it a day. I really did not feel like vlogging today, but I try to honor the commitment I made when I started of doing it every day for those who can't get out and see things on their own, and I hope somebody out there appreciates it that I do it every day. So I'm gonna call it a night. I wanted to thank Debbie Anderson, William Reed, and Brenda Harding for becoming my newest Patreons, and hopefully I'll get out and do something tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you all tomorrow. Good night.